Welcome back, Dr. Ondi. You were talking about steps we should be taking to move us in the right direction.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I think that to conclude this important segment that is foundational to our discussion, the National Assembly and the presidency, because that's the leadership of the country as at now, can easily, within 3 months, okay, have adequate discussion with the whole country for us to adopt a Nigerian national vision.
Within 3 months?
Yeah, it can be done within 3 months. You can use 1 month to do the basic campaigns. You use people who know what it's all about to evolve the discussion and manage the discussion. Okay? And once we have it, it means that every Nigerian has bought into the Nigerian state's DNA. And parties can now do politics on how to promote that DNA to give us the Nigeria we want. Without that, we can go forward. And this topic we are discussing today, which is the result of the Bureau of Statistics loss of job assessment for last year, is like in malaria. It's like the temperature you take from the armpit of the patient. But the malaria is caused by a parasite in the blood from mosquito that bit the person. So you can see that from managing the parasite and managing the mosquito is the big the part of the iceberg that is not visible. Okay, the tip of the iceberg we are seeing is the temperature. So this loss of job is the symptom of the bigger problem that created it.
Okay, let's get Mark Boy on this. Mark Boy.
Yeah, just quickly, I know that sounds like we're already concluding, but then you did say something about every year it does look like Nigeria has been sliding, it doesn't look like we've been getting better each year. We started at the top and we're sinking to a bottom. Is that a matter of perception, or that's reality? That's on the one hand. On the second hand, you talked about not having a Nigerian DNA, that we seem to have DNAs for different regions, or we used to have DNAs for different regions. Do you think that the work that has been done on the different conferences can help correct that?
Well, to look at the first part of your question, on there are clear indicators to show that from all the sectors of the economy, well, if you take the health system is far worse than it was. The educational system is far worse than it was. The security system is far worse than it was. The business system is far worse than it was. We are no longer producing anything virtually, okay? And even in the services where we are trying to do a little bit more, like in your industry, the major money bagger in your industry is a foreign company, which is also irresponsible. In the information management for a country, a foreign company cannot be a major source of where Nigerians tune to watch things and that, but that is not, we can discuss it at another time in all these aspects. To come to the second arm of Mopes' question, which was whether the conferences were not structured to produce an answer to a fundamental problem. They have always been structured to manage how we struggle, okay, to share national access to power and access to the economy. But the DNA that will actually build a great Nigeria is something that has never been discussed, because we just come from the regions or the states and quarrel at the center because we don't have that DNA. And secondly, the worst indicator of the failure of Nigeria is that there is activity on the roof, whereas on the parlor and the floor where the people live and exist, there is no activity. What this means is that we spend money at federal and state headquarters, and you go to the community, what you do call POS, point of service. The secondary school, government secondary school in your town, the primary school in your town, the health center in your town cannot get service delivered to your people because they don't get their money. But you can stay here and send money to 1 million people. And so the head teacher or the head of the clinic should be able to get the money, and with the community people in a committee, run the service to benefit the people. There is no service delivery, there is no development, there is no teaching of leadership and management and political activity at the community level. But somebody will now come from Abuja or Lagos and become a local government chairman, and he has never served these people before. It is because of the fundamental failures. And we can't come out of fundamental failure by treating visible symptoms, which is what we have done for 50 years, and we'll keep doing it unless we have to change and do the correct thing. Back to you, Mope.
And the correct thing will be what? The correct thing, I know you talked about it, treating the, that what we've done so far is treating symptoms, but the correct thing, addressing the iceberg underneath the glacier will be what?
First, the starting point will be for the National Assembly and the presidency to organize and let us develop a Nigerian national strategic vision. Okay? Based on that, every Nigerian buys into it. And once we buy into it, something that is non-ethnic and non-religious and promotes what we are talking today, maximum employment. So we can have a Nigeria that is a democratic country under the rule of law, okay, working to have full, meaningful employment. So it is individual based, and that individual is measured by his employment. And having done that, it means that every governor, every local government chairman, every student, everybody has bought into that, and every national activity is keyed towards that. What has come closest to having a national DNA is saying that is Nigerian unity. Everybody who comes to power said Nigerian unity is the topic, a no-go area. But unity cannot be a no-go area because unity cannot sustain itself on its own. Okay, every country is prone to forces of separation or separatist power forces everywhere in the world. And so unity is something you earn.
All right, it's a very interesting perspective and points. But that's where we're anchored this morning. Dr. Undi Onekusi is a development and management consultant. We appreciate your comment on this morning. Well, we will be back in a moment. Join us again.